Welcome, Lab Insiders. My name is Max, and as always, I'm here to take you on a journey through innovations in labs. Now, we focus on many sectors, and in one particular case, we have the biotechnology and the medical industry. There is an industry association that focuses on bringing these people together and coming up with new ideas. Joining us is Yamin Buras. He is the project head for lab automation at BioLAGO. Welcome, Yamin.
Thanks for the warm welcome.
It's great to have you here, and thank you so much for your time because I know that you're busy. Before we sort of get into the nitty-gritty of our episode, I think it's important that you give us a little bit of context and background and who you are and what you do. So I understand that you bring together a lot of experts, 140 experts from high-tech solutions in the field of medicine.
Indeed, it's correct. BioLAGO is an international health network. Our mission is to bring people together, to enable corporations, to link industry and science for innovation. This is the main thing what we do.
These are companies in Germany, Austria, Luxembourg, and Liechtenstein, as far as I understand.
Yeah, in 6 different countries. It's Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Spain, Ireland, and that's it.
And your focus is really, I guess, in a nutshell, to sort of get people to talk and interact and share ideas, right? Am I correct?
It's part of the project, yes, but it's part of many other things. It's much complicated, but to keep it in a nutshell, it's right. So basically, I am the project manager of the project BioSesh. BioSesh, the full name of the project is BioLAGO Pillar 2 NEML Serial Hackathon. So what we do is we organize hackathons, bring lab automation experts together with the lab users, and do some brainstorming together. We do a lot of face-to-face meetings, learn about new things in the lab, and we put the focus on the needs of lab users. So this is the first thing what we've done back in June last year. This was our first hackathon, and the main challenge in the beginning was to mobilize the people and the lab automation community, because it's not easy to explain them the idea. It's something like this is rare in my opinion. So to work practically on approaches to solutions, and we have also to deal with a lot of people who may be not so open to tell you what their secret is or what their challenge is, because it's a kind of a weakness they don't want to show.
But, sure, yeah. People don't know because people feel that, because these are very, a lot of resources are going into ideas and development. So nobody wants to accidentally reveal something in a informal context. So I guess, a hackathon sounds like a great idea because it kind of brings people together with a purpose, and there are practical applications to it.
Yes, in one hand you have common challenges. So you have startups. We have a great diversity in the hackathons. You have small and medium-sized companies, universities, also bigger companies who participated in our event. And there are some connecting points, and of course we focus on these connecting points. One of the main tools, it's a joint project with Fila, and Fila is in a community which we involve in this project, so the Fila experts, and we let the people show their ideas, approaches to solutions, and we compare that with the existing needs we have. Also, we use the existing technology, and there are some diversity also in topics, not just in persons or companies. To be honest, I thought in the beginning we have maybe 4 or 5 challenges, which are always more or less the same.
Yeah.
But it was more than this. It was very complex. And one challenge brought us to another challenge, or a specified challenge to cover more topics. For example, I remember there's a challenge with our BioLAGO member Feta. It's a pharmaceutical company, and we invited them for the first hackathon. And there was a participant who presented the topic innovative methods into microbiological lab processes. And afterwards, we did the presentation, we evaluated, and then we tried to specify this challenge a little bit more and consulted also the CELA community, our project partner, the automation experts, and I mixed them all together. I invited companies from the artificial intelligence, robotic companies, everyone who could possibly develop an approach to a solution or a solution in the end. And we brought them together with the BioLAGO community, with the better people, and then we concretized the things and specified it, and then we figured out that there are manual steps, a lot of manual steps in the lab. So we talked in the second hackathon about the topic processes that require complex information and execution while the hands are busy. A long topic, but many lab users will find themselves in this topic because we have a lot of manual steps, and you have to document things, you have to execute things in the lab, and also to control certain things, and therefore you have no free hands. And what's the solution now? So we developed it more and more, and between the hackathons, we consulted also the experts from the CELA community, and from also not just the BioLAGO and CELA community, but there are also other participants who were free to join us.
I see. Mm-hmm.
And then we worked together in the third hackathon on the Miro board.
So there's been how many hackathons so far?
Yeah, actually, there were 5 hackathons, but the first hackathon was a mix of presentations and working groups.
I suppose it was probably because it was your first project. I could imagine developing, maybe having an idea of the practical applications might have been a bit hard. But okay, so the first one was theoretical. These next ones, sorry.
The second one was a mix of both. Technical hackathon. We implemented the CELA standard in lab devices, and we had also the conceptual hackathons with big companies like Takeda, and also startups, innovative startups like OneLens. And the third hackathon was also we had a conceptual hackathon and also technical hackathons. And the third hackathon was split into 3 hackathons. Like we had 3 parts. We named it BioSash 3, and we split it the focus on 3 different dates, because previously the working groups were running parallel. So we run the hackathon online.
Okay.
Yeah, and therefore we split the hackathons in 3 different dates to allow the working groups to join the other working groups and to support them and to see what the challenges are. So, there was a mix of both conceptual hackathons and also technical hackathons. And the main idea is to implement the conceptual hackathon to a technical hackathon. And we have done it with some hackathons, and we are going to do that physically in September.
It's interesting because I kind of equate it to, when someone enters a company and then they leave a company, right? They can always, they carry on the experience that they've had, but oftentimes when you leave, you log off the computer and you no longer have access credentials. You don't get any documentation. You can't take it with you to a new firm. I imagine this is this something the same? Is it that it's more experiential for participants? Because you're saying that there are some companies that don't want you sharing the data of what's happened at the hackathon. Is it more for people to kind of meet together, meet their minds, and then use the experience, bring it back to their industries, to their companies?
Yeah, to be clear on this, this is a minority who are not very open.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and I'm very, very surprised as my background is sales. I'm also very surprised in this project that many people are very open. So maybe one story I can tell you, which surprised me most so far. Just in the beginning of this project, I tried to mobilize the community and to invite them to the lab automation hackathon. And I wanted to have a chief doctor in this event so that we can hear also hear a little bit about the lab diagnostics and some challenges in the lab from the perspective of a chief doctor. And I had nothing, just an email address and a phone number. And he didn't reply directly to my email. So I decided to call him, but the phone number I had was just an emergency number. And you can imagine it's not very convenient or comfortable to call a number which is not intended to call that. It's not an emergency.
Especially in the medical profession, exactly. Yeah.
But I wanted to have this person in my event, and therefore I decided to call him and to be very careful and ask if he wants to do that.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised how open he was.
Well, there's a lot of public interest in other subjects. It may be that there still is room for growth in explaining digitization, the lab. Just recently, we've spoken with Robin Brouwer from AstraZeneca, and he says that, he said, I want to talk about something boring. And he says, data. And we go, well, hang on a sec. It's not boring, but it seems boring because most of the public does not hear about it and has not been taught about it. So this expert that you say is willing to speak. I think this is great because it's hackathons. It's these meetings, these practical workshops. They give people a chance as well. They get to go out there and speak.
Indeed. So I can tell you that the people we have in our hackathons are mostly people from higher positions, and actually they have less time to contribute something or to prepare even something for the hackathons, but they do, and this shows me that the motivation is there.
What kind of challenges do you guys face, in hosting these hackathons? Maybe people are less, people aren't performing as well sometimes, or some people are unwilling to share. What kind of challenges do you see?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of challenges we faced. But every challenge we faced was good to learn from this. The first step or the first challenge was the mobilization of the participants, because BioSesh started and then you have to convince them, because you haven't something to show what we have done so far. The project just started. So how can you convince someone
to
participate and take his whole day for an event which previously didn't really exist like this? So the mobilization process was in the beginning a little bit difficult, but manageable. So we have the community of SILA who could reach out to the lab automation community. We have also our community, so a lot of communication work, a lot of face-to-face meetings. We used the newsletters, the social media, everything, and we explained them the idea. And the feedback was very good because there's a need. You can offer someone an added value. And if someone sees an added value in a project, it's easy to get them in this event. So, and even if you can make them active for this, actually the mobilization process consists of three main points. So, you have to attract them to bring them to be interested in this hackathon.
Yep, of course.
And the second thing is also it's a technical topic, so you have also to reach out to the technical people.
Yeah, the right people.
Yeah, and they have different levels when it comes to programming. So you have to bring them to deal with the open source solution. So we work a lot of we put a lot of efforts and dedication in the SILA standard and NEML. So we have also to explain what this open source can do. And the third thing is, if they deal with that, they will be also active in the hackathon. So you have one group, they are followers, they just follow the event, they just want to learn. But they are also people who can give you also a good feedback afterwards, because they are just following. And then you have the active participants. But to make them active, this is the major work. So, and the major work is to have a lot of communication with these participants.
The real prospect of hackathons, things are looking good. Things are looking bright. I mean, if there's anything else that you wish to share with us here at Lab Insider, let us know. Is there anything you'd like to tell our viewers?
I could recommend to be updated because lab automation is very dynamic, isn't it? So, because the needs of today are maybe not the needs of tomorrow, because things change always, and the needs also change. So, to be updated is one of the most important things, in my opinion. So I would also recommend to have the exchange with the stakeholders of lab automation. So to not be afraid to approach one or the other to learn new things. And hackathons, the BioLAGO hackathons is, of course, a good tool to learn and to develop, not just with regard to the techniques, also to the level of the skills of someone. So I would recommend to keep learning and to keep consuming everything which helps someone to progress in lab automation.
Yamin, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That was Yamin Buras of BioLAGO joining us here on Lab Insider. Be sure to sign up to our newsletter and make sure to like us and subscribe to us on LinkedIn and Facebook.